As my favorite month of the year, November winds down and we inch closer to the end of 2024, it's the perfect time to start reflecting on the challenges we face and the opportunities that lie ahead. Jasiri, as always, stands as a platform for bold conversations, innovative ideas, and transformative action. Today, we continue our mission to shine a light on critical issues shaping our communities and the world, whether it's addressing societal gaps, championing equity, and sparking change through dialogue. Jasiri is here to empower voices and inspire progress. So to make sure you stay with us throughout today's show, as usual, of course, because we know we're going to give you another engaging conversation that leaves you informed, inspired, and ready to take action.
Ladies, when did we start November that we're already looking at the last week?
When did we start January?
I don't know. When did we start the show?
When exactly?
I don't understand.
I was just thinking about it like, we started this show in January.
Yeah.
And at that time, we weren't even thinking about December.
Nope.
Even in June, we were not really thinking about December.
Yeah.
Now December is upon us because Lola first started by singing,
I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus underneath the mistletoe last night.
oh.
But he didn't see McRibbon.
So you see, and this
Amen,
takes us
bless
to Dirty December.
Dirty,
Ladies, no, seriously.
Oh, wow.
What's your plan for Dirty December? Tolu is already in. There's no need to ask him.
I'm always ready. I'm always ready.
There's no need to ask her.
I'm always
what's going on
ready.
for Dirty December.
December, Tolu is outside.
Yes, Italawa. We will finish the year with Italawa. But this Dirty December, I've been looking for one bear. I've asked my husband, please, none of your friends are still single, getting married. No. I don't know funeral, but we're not doing housewarming, baby naming.
It's coming.
Like, what is it? I need a
Twins
party.
are here, so it's
The
coming.
twins, we have some twins
Twins
that
are
have
here.
arrived. I'm so excited. Twin boys.
Funny enough, I saw somebody said something about babies today. I think Obolo's sister said that her younger sister had triplets today.
Kilo, I've been hearing a lot of multiple births lately. Oh.
Tolu?
No, they had. You see how they had this going this way.
I'm already a grandmother
Is there a
material.
time I've never wanted twins?
Oh, really? Is there a time you wanted children? Let's start from there.
Is there a time you wanted
I've
marriage?
always wanted children. It's just that the man is not there.
That's why I said, do you want a man first? So what's the essence of this your beauty? That we cannot eat the fruit of our labor.
We even need to move it down to the next generation, Seth.
Okay, so I was asking you if you have plans for Dirty December.
I know that I will watch all the movies, and I'm telling you now, because if you don't put me on that list, there'll be a problem. I'll watch all the movies that have been advertising since June. In December, I'll be going from one cinema. I think I'm going to do a cinema sleepover, like, you know, what they call it? Back to back.
How is that Dirty December?
I intend to dirty my December with films. I think today, I have a cold. I really wanted to just go home and sleep after work, but I haven't seen Gladiator.
Please don't mention it. I'm going to see it.
I started it, but
Should we
was
see it
too
together?
long.
No, not you and I. I want to see with a man. Not
But
with a
that thing
woman.
is 3 hours. I went to the cinema at
Gladiator?
10:30, and I was
Gladiator
extremely
2.
tired.
And there's Venom too.
No, sorry, the last dance.
Venom.
I want to see this one,
Gladiator.
Wicked.
Now
Two.
Gladiator.
Hey, Wicked. I don't think I want to watch it.
You have not seen the pictures of Denzel Washington for Gladiator 2? My darling, I will give you a gift today and send the pictures to you. My goodness. The number one and only Denzel. Oh, fire.
Patricia's husband.
Pauletta's husband. But please, we're talking about Dirty December.
Yeah, December, I think I'm going to be like extremely busy. There'll be a lot of film showing. I have loads and loads of premiere, and trust me, Africa Kedele is planning
You
the
two,
most.
you're outside basically for Dirty December.
But the Italawa is costing me money for clothing and
But
accessories.
how do people enjoy concerts, though?
What do you mean?
I enjoy concerts that are not loud.
What do you mean?
How do you know?
No, as in that the musician is not like
Shouting, jumping
like
around.
jumping around. I wouldn't want to attend like all those kind of A-listers concerts. I like more, closed concert, like those that sing like folk song kind of music.
Really? I don't mind. I think I have my moments with concerts are supposed
Like
to be.
Adekule Gold is not old, but I would enjoy his music.
Okay, wait. So you're getting ahead of us because when you talk about these concerts, we've all been to events. One of the issues I've been having with events lately is, especially guys, start on time. What is the red carpet you'll call for 5, 6 o'clock, which I don't do. I always miss red carpet intentionally. You'll say show, doors close at 7, maybe 8 o'clock. 10 o'clock, I'm sitting at the table. We have finished all the small chops. We finished all the drinks, and the show has still not started.
Let me not call these people out, because the event that I was at, the award show that I was at last week, and not only did they start late, they didn't allow us into the hall.
So you were just standing?
1 hour, yes, 1 hour. So they deliberately made this, this table-like thing where you just stand around. And
network,
the excuse
talk.
was for you to network.
Yes.
But 1 hour after the show was supposed to start, they didn't let us in.
Come on.
I don't know.
And you're standing in
if you tell
heels.
me, there was one
Do
event
they know
someone
women
invited me
stand in
for.
heels?
They told me the event was supposed to start at 6. I was at 5:30. I was already panicking because I don't know how to. I don't like being late.
Yeah.
I got there 6:15. I sat down till 8 o'clock. That was when they were starting. That's when I was leaving.
That's even nice. We actually sent, I remember on entertainment events we sent the guys to, when they got there was when they started setting up. And they got there on dots of the time they were supposed to start. So I was in conversation with them and I had some other things for them to do. After I saw 2 hours later, they're still not ready. I said, please come back. Because also, I think at the end of the day, it is fans that are going to stop this nonsense. Maybe not us that gets free tables, I won't lie. I enjoy it and everything. But we may not necessarily be the ones to stop this nonsense. It's actually fans who pay, and even just their fans. When you have fans walk out of a concert, walk out of a comedy show, because you're literally wasting their time, they will start getting the message. And the thing is, they don't try this nonsense abroad, except for a few of them.
I disagree with you. Nigerians carry our culture everywhere.
So you're telling me that Wizkid will call a show one time and that he will not be on stage when he's supposed to be on stage?
I wouldn't say
They've called out a
concert.
lot of artists and said they are being disrespectful. That some of them would even speak back and say that he's not having the concert for anybody. And that's the mindset, that arrogance. Like that event, the same event I was at, the hosts were late.
How are you the host and you're late?
So we're literally late.
Why won't they be late when you're taking pictures like you're taking wedding pictures?
Exactly. So
why would you be late?
Then go to the studio to take pictures while we were
then
sitting down waiting for them. It was just
It was a mess.
It was an S show.
Wow. Whether it's a
mess.
corporate event or you're an artist just performing, which is what makes it difficult for people to attend these concerts by artists.
But do you know what it also leads to? That means because we know that these people are going to be late, people don't leave their houses now to like 2.5 hours after the show is supposed to start. So before you know it, that thing creeps into all the other things we do outside of entertainment, outside of going for the concert. You're thinking, there'll be traffic, he'll be late. You're supposed to have a meeting somewhere. The guys, they agreed 10. He's Nigerian. By 10:30, 11, he'll be there. You two will now leave late. It creeps into our regular life.
The fans, I think the vendors also have the solution to this, because if the vendor comes, say the DJ comes and says, I'm only going to be here till 8 o'clock, and you've not even started by that time, and they leave, you'll be clapping.
Honestly, if we can do something drastic
empower
like
them,
that, it'll be good. Yeah, blessings. I thought you were going to ask us some pertinent questions.
We're still talking about events and dating our December, but I was actually waiting for one person to mention this, right? I get so tired of seeing red carpet at 6 p.m. like Tolu said, and show starts at 7:30 p.m. and then 10 p.m. you're still waiting for the show to actually start. So let me ask this question. Which artist could hold a concert in, say, December that you would actually attend? One local, one international. Kat, you go first.
One local, one international.
Yes.
Local would be King Sunny Ade. Yeah. KSA. First of all, the man fine. And he's a performer.
That's what I think we're missing. We're missing musicians who are also performers.
Yeah.
And if it's not follow come with you, you can learn it. Performance.
But many of them do not
many
even
of them are not
consider
willing to, and that's I would give big ups to Ira Star, because you would see she has that same energy with Beyonce. Do you know how long Beyonce rehearses for her performances?
You see, I say I'm not a Beyonce fan, but
you can respect her showmanship.
Yes, I don't see a lot of, especially Nigerian artists, that actually put in the work, except to be calling fine girl up on stage and dancing with them.
And that can get tiring. So for me, my local will be King Sunny Ade. Respect to him.
Sweet man.
Yeah, he's a
He's not even Zaddy. He's like a grand Zaddy.
I think he's just no, man. Let's not.
And you know, we've seen the videos of his performances. He gives on stage.
He gives
He does.
He gives.
Well,
That is
hopefully
leg
one day
work.
we'll get him to
Is
sit
he doing
on
leg
one.
work?
Yeah, the originator of legwork.
And then for me, for international, it would be Usher without it. If someone asked me that question, I would just say Usher.
Why won't you say that? Because you'll be doing his
Have
body.
you? She read my mind. Lolo, who's for you?
Well, I would do Mary J. Blige because I just love that old school feel. And I like the fact
she
that
got
they're
swag.
aging, but you still see them bringing the heat.
MJB.
You know, just, and that soft.
Mary J.
She's so gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. And do you know she has a look like Shaw?
Like a goddess.
Yes,
They
I
look
actually
so
agree.
alike.
Very true, I agree. Shows from radio,
That
yeah.
brother thingy, it works with them.
Mary
Then
J.
Nigeria, I have to go with Adekunle Gold. Because I
You
just,
mentioned him earlier.
yes, I like his style of music. I like that easy, folk songy kind of thing. And maybe the Adekunle before this new Adekunle though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
Because his sound is changing a little.
Yeah, but it's evolved nicely. It's not
Yes,
the
he
same
has
bad
into
thing.
his own space. So I actually thought about Adekunle Gold. I think when this question came up, and yeah, AJ Baby could do it. You know, he has good music, and I think he's also a performer as well.
Performer.
You know.
Yeah, it'll be fun to
Catherine's
watch.
still one of mine. I'll start with Usher. I don't know about you, but the videos I've seen online of Usher, baby, you know, and his concerts in Las Vegas, and he's moved around the U.S. now. My sister-in-law went in Canada. My cousin went in the U.S., and it's just.
Usher went to Abuja one year, 2000 and something. I went to Abuja to watch Usher. My ex-husband didn't believe at the time. Say, you are
That you
really
could
going
travel.
to see.
Do you
He said,
see?
you are really going
Yes.
to see Usher. I said, yes, so it's Usher.
He's Usher, baby. And he has grown. You know, we met this guy when he was, what, 15? He was 7 o'clock on the dot in my drop top, you know? She doesn't see this one. She does not know anything.
You
It's
don't-
all right.
Please do not share their shower moves. These old women, look at them.
Anyway, and Nigeria, I had to think about this one, and I think I chose Ashake. He's new school, but I still feel he has like an old soul somehow.
He's a performer
and he's a performer, and he's evolving, and there's just an energy. Mr. Money with the Vibes or something. Like there's just an energy you get from his concerts.
You know, he's a theater artist.
That might be why. It feels really good. I can connect with that. And I'll tell, I saw Mary J when she came to Nigeria many years ago. You know that dance she does and the boots that she wears?
Yeah.
I'll follow you. We'll go together. Actually, maybe Bruno Mars. That's another.
I like Bruno Sha. I want to see Bruno.
See, my list is plenty. Just come to Nigeria. I'll be there.
Bruno Mars.
So let's
Bruno
ask
Mars.
the wicked Jersey.
Auntie.
No one. And I don't mean Alicia Keys, I mean no one.
Oh!
Nigerian or international?
I don't have anybody that can drag me out of my house. I don't like noise.
I think you're playing.
I don't love
No,
any
man.
music that much to come and stand and be dancing. I'm sorry. But
Meanwhile, you kill us.
We gave you.
There you go.
There you
Meanwhile,
go.
every day in the middle of blessings is killing us. With music.
So please, any day she
Ironically.
decides to put up a concert, just put my mannequin there.
That's not fair. No, but honestly, I don't think it's about the artist. I think it's just the idea of a concert that I'm not.
it's just the-
I'm not fascinated about it. You want to take me out and you're taking me to a concert? Are you mad, fam?
Really?
Wow.
In dirty
you're
December.
so
Maybe
hard
not the
to
rest of the
date.
year, but in dirty December.
So where would you rather go? Where?
Oh, Lola, bless you.
Please,
go
mommy,
picnic.
tell us.
Where would you rather go?
A young man is asking that, my son, he's asking you, and even though I will reject you from day one.
It's you that give me to your son. But I like the cozy, movies, restaurants.
She said picnic.
Yeah, like
Johnny
just
Drill at Lagos, what is it, something park, you know?
Picnic.
things
Johnny Drill. That one they did.
I'm just saying.
No, I won't be there. It's noisy. Like
Okay, so
I'll never forget what I
I
did.
did somebody.
takes you to
I did
go and
somebody
watch a
about 2
play
years ago,
or
and the person
opera.
was staying in not far from me, and then he, brought me to where he was. I don't want to mention the places. And then we were planning, like I'll be there for 5 days, and we'll go out. I literally bought dinner dresses. We're going to go out, have fun. When I got there, he could not drag me out for 1 day. I'm serious. I was indoors all through.
Why?
The only other place I went was the airport coming back.
I'll break up with you.
Father Lord, I thank you.
What I ordered versus what I got, I'll break up with you.
Somebody did give an excuse for a logical reason for me.
What is the work?
And it's because I'm almost always outside
Because of work.
because of the work we do.
Yeah.
So I long for that
Inside.
Solitude,
just
quiet.
Sometimes you have to break that cycle.
You
in
know,
your
you don't
mind.
understand.
You're just being
I'm
selfish.
always on the move.
I understand that. We are always on the move. It's not the
Well,
work that
aren't
do.
we?
So
At the
it's no
same
longer
time.
fun for me being out, especially in a noisy. It's like punishment.
And
So if
then
someone
don't
wants to
give
date you, how do
any
they
young
know
man
you?
stress.
Restroom
We'll just give you a list of what we think blessings can like, so
I
that
don't
you do
even know
not
what to
put
say
any
to her.
effort.
Wait,
Just
but
buy
If you
pillow
want to date him,
and
where does
mattress.
somebody take you to? So who you?
Wait, but nobody is talking about the fact that I just
That's
saw
what-
Adam's apple on the Usher. Men don't have that anymore.
Yes, they do.
Of
It's
course, they do.
biological.
Real men.
I've
It's
never- I've not seen
physiological.
Gen Z
have it.
I haven't noticed.
I'm not saying Gen Z have it.
Okay.
It's the old-
Guys, so we have been. I'm coming back to you because this thing you're saying.
Oh, let it go.
You have to say how to date you. I
My
don't
sister,
understand.
Catherine,
Stone.
I've already given up because
They
it's
think
going to take a
blessings
long time for me to have
They
grandchildren.
said we need to go on break.
Yes. Okay. So, Jerry,
Oh my God, let's go.
how did you date yourself? So we've been giving you back-to-back hits for conversations this week. Starting with the look on the governorship elections that held over the stay away from me. States that held over the weekend. So from there we moved to the case of Sokoto State versus Hamdiya Sidi Sharif. And then yesterday, a great conversation with the former First Lady of Ekiti State. Erelu BC Adeleye Fayemi.
You passed.
Got it. Got it. If you missed that really, really seriously, you have to head over to our YouTube channel and catch up on a conversation on feminism in Africa, women in politics, and the role of first ladies. She was dropping bangers.
Like mad. Sorry.
But today we're giving you another great discussion. After the break, we talk addressing the care gap in Africa with Blessing Adesiyan, founder, CEO, Caring Africa. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Blessings, stay away from me.
I'm getting roasted here, guys.
Yeah,
Save
it's
me.
roasted.
But anyways, welcome back to the show. Please join the conversation via our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. Today on Jesse, we'll be spotlighting a crucial conversation on an issue facing families and communities around the world, the care gap. Now, in many societies, caregiving responsibilities disproportionately fall on women, marginalized communities, and family members, limiting their opportunities, perpetuating inequality, and straining social and economic systems. Now, the care gap affects all of us, from new parents struggling to balance work and family responsibilities to family members caring for loved ones with chronic illnesses and disabilities. Now, it's a gap that hinders economic growth, social development, and individual well-being. So, to shed light on this pressing issue and explore solutions, my namesake is back. I like the sound of that.
This is where they see you.
She is the founder and CEO of Caring Africa, who is a leading advocate for care, equity, and empowerment. Blessing Adesiyan. Welcome back to Jesse. You do miss us.
I miss you guys. I don't know why I've not been invited to this show to be a permanent member. I'm taking that very personal. Please, we will ask you after the show. Can you please talk to this our dear
Well,
daughter?
calm down. I just felt I had to calm down.
She said, normally I would support you on a lot of things, but yo.
I think it's a blessing thing because even my husband would be like, blessing, easy. And, you know, I'm like, you know, we gotta just go for it, you know, and know where we stand.
Thank God there's a husband. Anyway, because we care for you, that's why we are actually worried.
Yeah, so we want to bridge the care gap.
I see what you did there. Anyway, Blessings is so, we're honored to have
Yeah,
you
of course.
back.
By the way, that happens where they see another blessing and then they start calling her blessings. And then when she goes, they'll call me blessing. So yeah, go ahead. She just said blessings.
A lot of things are happening, but I understand you, girl. I see you.
Oh, wow.
I see you too.
It's not Friday, ladies. Can we come forward?
You know, today feels like a Friday.
I can see the
easy
behavior.
about it.
I can see the
But
behavior.
anyway, Blessing is here and she understands care.
Yes.
And because she's been in foreign climes, she's studied, she knows a lot of things that we don't take institutionally here in Nigeria. It's just something we do. Like helping, but to institutionalize it and make it something like an agency where people can just, go to is a bit, foreign to us. So how do you define the care gap? Because we've talked about it. And there are many people watching us who are just hearing the term care gap for the first time, or even the burden of care for the first time. So can you break it down for us, for a lot of people to be more enlightened?
Yeah. Absolutely. So one of the, I always start with who is caring for our children right now, and our partner, and our homes, and our households. It's probably a nanny, a teacher, more than likely, and majority of those people, as we know, are women. And so when we look at care, we're not even talking about health care yet, right? We're talking about all the work that enables the work that you and I are doing right now to actually happen. Right? So men are going to work, women are going to work, and the women that are not going to work are taking care of all the responsibilities on the home front, ensuring that, so it's sort of like a back engine. Think about care as a back engine for our economy, right? So all the work that we're doing in the background that we did not account for in our gross domestic product, right? So back in the day, a group of men came together and said, let's quantify this economic activities, right? So they went out and they started quantifying, okay, the person going to the farm, the person, the energy, the windmills, etc., agriculture. So they created all these industries and quantified them, but they forgot, or they ignored, actually, I think they saw it, but they ignored all the activities that were happening on the home front.
That
right?
make it possible.
They did not, exactly. They didn't, first of all, we didn't think about it this way, right? That work was being done by women, right? So it was invisible to them. And the women, nobody was complaining because they're kind of like, it's your job, So this work was invisible. This work was not being quantified. And it was being done for free. So if something is being done for free, it's kind of like,
no value.
there is no value to it. So what that has done is that it has led to a society that runs on the backs of women, right? And a society that then doesn't value this work and the work that women are doing on the home front. So, but then we are also starting to see that this is also now affecting men. As more and more women step into the workforce, men are also starting to feel the strain, right? Because the woman will tug on their husbands and say, oh, you're the one doing drop-off. Can you go cook as well? Can you, I have to go to this meeting. You're watching the baby. So we're starting to see a strain on the home front as well as in the workplace. So when we look at the care gap, I always say, first of all, there is an economy, right, that is sort of like an invisible economy on the home front that we are not looking at. And it's, I give this example of around childcare. We're also looking at aging care, right? So when we look at the care economy, there's a breakdown in the aging care support, in child care infrastructure, in disability care, and so on and so forth, right? And so what we are saying is, how do we address this gap? So when we look at, for example, Africa as a continent, we are seeing that, okay, our population is growing. We're going to add another 2.1 billion people by 2100.
We're very busy.
We're very busy. And that is, in fact, that is more than all the other countries in the world combined. All the other continents. So when in the next 80-something years, the Africa is going to add 2.1 billion. The rest of the continents are going to add 2 billion. So we are adding more and more. And so what that means is that we need to sort of start thinking about, how do we make sure that these people we are adding are actually productive to the economy, right? And that productivity starts with the care work that is required to raise those children, to make sure that those children are able to contribute to the economy, the care work that is required to make sure that as our parents are aging, right, that they are living a good and healthy life and somebody is actually caring for them. People with chronic conditions, disability. So we are saying that if we actually don't address this care gap in Africa, we are going to be literally squeezed. We'll be crushed because we have ignored this important infrastructure. And we are looking at even in other parts of the world, right? In the United States, in the UK, they are starting to feel the squeeze.
Which is
right?
why they're willing to take people from Africa.
Absolutely.
Bridge the care gap they have. So right before the break, because we'll go for a break in a minute, I want us to look at the consequences of this gap and the burden of care on women's economic empowerment, family dynamics, which you've spoken a bit about, and societal development as well. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, estimated that across the globe, women carry out 2 to 10 times more unpaid care work than men. Right. And there's this unwritten expectation that women should carry out these tasks, and it's a very long-standing one. So you have gender stereotypes and norms which are deeply entrenched in society's psyche. So what are the consequences for women? Very briefly before we go for a break.
Yes, I mean, absolutely. So the OECD, I actually met with their directors in Iceland last week, where they presented even more of this work. And what we are seeing across the globe is, especially in Africa, so African women are actually shouldering 75% of the unpaid care work. 75. So when you look at who is caring for the children, who is doing all the things, you know, and I like to break it down this way because I don't think we all understand the amount of work that our women are doing. In the United States, most women would just care for their children. The husband would take care of himself. Everybody would take care of. Nobody requires your time. But in Nigeria, for example, the woman is taking care of the children, the household, the partner. They're the one making sure that once you lost your daddy, they've ironed daddy's shit. You know, so they're doing all of these things. Plus the community. We're a religious institution, right? So the moms, the women are the ones in the church, in the mosque, volunteering, doing all this community building. And so it is a lot. All that time is going into these, this various caring for other people, where now women are not able to care for themselves. And they're not able to participate the way they want to participate in the economy.
All right, let's go for a break. When we come back, we'll look at the drivers of some of these issues, and then, of course, the workplace as well. Many people would be surprised that there are expectations of women even in the workplace. And then, of course, solutions. We're having a conversation about addressing the care gap in Africa. Stay with us.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you missed a few moments of very engaging, deep conversation that is fairly new to a lot of people. We're talking about the care gap, that's infrastructure that a lot of people do not know exists, but we're bringing it to light with our wonderful guest, Blessings Adesiyan.
Blessing.
Adesiyan. I didn't know when that S ended. But there's so many dynamics to these things that we can talk about, because you've talked extensively and you've even broken it down into stratas. Because even in this, we should not even begin to talk about the aging care gap, because that is more prominent as a need in Africa, where we just do that. But before we even get into that, I want to talk about what do you see as the primary drivers of this care gap, in these communities? Who are the primary drivers? Because if we don't know who is driving what, we don't even know what to put a stop to or what to add to or take away from. Who are the primary drivers, in our community?
I think the primary drivers of a care gap is really the failure of our institutions to step into care. When we look at, other economic activities, we've built infrastructures and resources, right, to make sure that it's easy for people to go to work. For example, we're building roads. Imagine if you were told that, for you to get here today, you have to go build your own Third Mainland Bridge. That is what we are telling women, right? In order for you to actually work or do all the other things that you want to do, you have to take care of your own children by yourself. But those same children are going to grow up. They're going to become taxpayers. They're going to grow our economy. So we're actually contributing, not just physically, emotionally, we are contributing with all of our being to the society. So we need infrastructures that can support those economic activities, right? Because it used to be that we did not think these were economic activities. But what we are saying with the work that we're doing is that our society needs to start recognizing the value of care. Because care is actually going to be the catalyst. It has always been. It has always been the catalyst for us for our economic growth. When we invest in childcare resources, when we give, when we support our aging population, then everybody can contribute to the economy.
Yeah.
But as it is right now, we have 50% of the population. In Nigeria, do you know that majority of women, only 6% of women are in the formal labor workforce? Only 6%. Only 6%.
Of 100 and maybe something million
Only
women.
6%. The rest of us have small businesses.
Informal.
Okay. And let me give you another kicker, because you all know that no one invests in women, right? Like there's no real big investment in women. I think in Nigeria, only about 1 or 2% of venture capital funding goes to women, right? And the reason no one is investing in women is because we know that these women don't have the time. It's called time poverty. I've spoken about that before. We know they don't have the time. So if you don't have the time to invest in the money that I've given you to put it to good use, because I know, right, subconsciously that you're going to go take care of your children and your husband and your church. So I'm not going to give you that money. So that is why, although we have various statistics that are shiny, women are starting businesses faster than men. Well, they are starting a lot of very small, tiny,
Micro, nano even.
And these businesses are not scalable. And it's the same thing with the workplace, right? Women are flooding into the workplaces because we've empowered young girls to go out there and get an education. And then they get there and they just sort of stop, right? So there's this stagnation that happens. And it's a big reason why we can't get women into leadership positions. Because in order for you to get into that C-suite, that, go from that mid-career to the C-suite, you sort of need time. And women don't have the time because that time is being,
spent
elsewhere. So it's affecting a lot of things. And it's also putting a lot of pressure on our men, right? Because, a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, but blessing, it doesn't matter now. Should be the man is, out there working and bringing the money back. But we know it's not that math is not mathing. Right? Like, we know it's not.
We were talking about something while we were off air, and when you talked about the data, I checked for it. Of course, the International Labour Organization says that unpaid care work prevents 708 million women from participating in labor outside of the home. And then we spoke about the fact that, of course, when you look at male CEOs, they're able to do what they do because they have wives at home, And there's also data that shows that a woman either has a supportive partner or she doesn't. She's better off having a fully supportive partner or no partner at all. There's no in between for women who are career ambitious and everything. So I asked that to sort of say, how do we put this into financial terms? Because I think for a lot of men, it's the financial terms of it they can understand.
Absolutely.
If we talk about business, venture capital now, we've seen data again that suggests that women, companies that have more women on the board make more money in the long run overall. They do better in the long run. So there is a business case. It shouldn't have to be a business case to make life easier for women, but that is unfortunately where we are.
Unfortunately, that's where we are because our society, it's a numbers game for everyone. At the end of the day, the reason why a lot of women also shoulder this responsibility is because the man is the provider. The man is bringing in the bacon, he's bringing in the money, so I'm just going to quietly do my work and support him and make sure that he can do those things effectively. But what we are seeing more and more of is that more and more women are getting an education and, even their partners want the best for them. I think we always believe that, okay, maybe men don't really want women to advance. A lot of men actually want, my husband brought me here, he's outside sitting in the car. A lot of men want their partners to advance their career. And so I always say, and we've all seen, especially with, the authoritarian movements and everything around the globe, I think that we need to start thinking about the home front as its own institution. And I always say that we need to start treating our home as our most important organization. So if I'm a partner, if my husband is, if we are a unit, then it needs to be about home front optimization and home front effectiveness, right? It needs to be that, okay, you have this career, I have this career. Who's going to watch the kids today? Who's going to do this today? What projects do you have?
There has to be a synchronization.
But that is going to require men to understand care and value
the contributions.
And value the contribution. And so when we talk about, how do we really address this? It's institutions. It's also men stepping into care. And stepping into care, understanding also that there is an economic case on the home front for them. right? Because if your partner can also bring in the bacon, it reduces the pressure on you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've all seen the statistics. Men are, there's a higher suicidal rate for men.
Yes.
Their mental health is taking a nosedive because they're feeling this pressure to provide for their partners, their family, their community. And so when men get support from their partners and they're also contributing, in their own way at home, it reduces that pressure. And they can live longer and healthier and fulfilling lives.
happier.
The data is there. Men that actually step into care have better sex. They are happier.
You might want to repeat that one. No, because just everybody's justification and motivation is different.
Because a lot of women resent their husbands. Let's be real.
Yes.
Are we ready for this conversation? No, so she wants to go. Let's go there.
You're like, don't open this can of worms.
This one is the mental load.
Yes.
So let's try to paint a picture. I think it will help. When it is one person who is responsible for doctor's appointments, making sure school fees are paid, school uniforms are changed, the grocery list is done, reminding somebody that it's your mother's birthday, it's my parents' birthday, you need to do this for the house. Oh God, you have not changed that light bulb in 2 weeks. There is a resentment that will come because you're constantly having to remind. And the men will say that she's nagging. So it feels like there's a miscommunication, because if more men were involved, I remember, because it's actually a further down question, weaponized incompetence and the mental burden that women carry, because they're the ones responsible for the scheduling, the planning, and everything. Why won't the resentments come?
And that invisible load, that mental overload, it sort of, crushes the woman mentally, right? So even as the woman is at work, she's constantly like, you're thinking already.
What's for dinner?
What's for dinner? Who is picking up who is this? And it hinders the productivity and the effectiveness of that woman. But it also makes the woman extremely hurt. That, I am, you claim, like, I got into this relationship with you because you love me, and now we have this family, and literally I have to think about how this organization runs. Can you imagine? And our men, right? They love to say, "Oh, I'm the I'm the head of the household." Can you imagine being the CEO of an organization and you have no idea, how anything runs? That is what is happening in our homes. Our men are claiming to be the head of the household, the leader of the home, and they have no effing clue. No idea. They have no idea what is going on, what their families needs to actually thrive and prosper. And I think that when men can see that this is an opportunity for them to actually lead, I've actually started calling it on-front leadership. Because I think that our men need to understand that the leadership that they demonstrate in the work front, we need to start feeling that effect at home. We want to see it. You are a leader. Nobody is reminding you that a report is due. Nobody is reminding you that you need to go and start thinking about Q3, Q4. Why is it that I need to remind you, that your child has baseball practice or football practice at 3 p.m.? So these are the things.
So interesting enough, there was a TikTok video that went viral. A woman was not feeling well, and she gave her husband a list to go to the grocery store.
She's finally on TikTok, guys.
Yeah, I'm finally on TikTok. So she regretted it. The man called her for every single item on the list. Which aisle, which version, which one. And she's like, with all the years I've bought groceries and bought things into the house, and you've never paid attention to the brand, to the style, to the type. And she said she's never going to send him to the grocery store again. Meanwhile, the man says he's won because he has weaponized his incompetence in going grocery shopping. She will continue to hold on to that load, and he will no longer be responsible. And sometimes, see, this is a really interesting conversation, because a lot of men will say that when a woman asks for a divorce, in the US, a lot of divorces are initiated by women. And then men will come and say, but they didn't know what was wrong. Meanwhile, for the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, this woman has been telling you over and over again what is wrong. It's just that we don't divorce that same way here, but it is a repetitive thing for many women when they say they're done. And it's because of issues, lack of leadership at the home front.
I mean, you have to also think about it. Since you mentioned repetitive, let me paint the picture. Our children, if Dekomi comes to me and says, "Mommy, I'm hungry," right? You can't tell a child that, "Oh, we'll eat in 3 days." So there's a lot of repetitive tasks that women are doing. It's unrelenting. It's like, As you're making breakfast, you're already thinking of lunch. As you're finishing lunch, you're thinking of dinner.
Absolutely.
So it's
In between, you're doing laundry and folding everybody's clothes and packing the socks.
Yeah.
everything.
Looking for the socks.
You're looking for the socks. You're looking for everything. And so that repairs. So think about sort of like every single task that is happening. And oh, by the way, we, one of our partners, Fair Play in the US, we put together the list of tasks that women are doing daily at home. Over 500. I kid you not.
From morning to evening in 24 hours.
I can send it to you. Take out the trash, pick this thing up, go to the, go register to vote, go and look at who is at the door, go and pick up decorative socks, the pots that needs to be washed, the things we need to order, Amazon cart. So literally, over 500 tasks on a daily basis.
You know, this is why they say we're good at multitasking, but people don't understand the multitasking nature of many women is socialization.